it's me again. You may be wondering what is wrong with your face, Miss England, and why are you wearing that brace on your arm? Well, it just so happens that I went for a walk the other day, and I'm so out of practice, I tripped over my own 2 feet, fell right on my face, and sprained my wrist. So now that we've cleared that up, let this be a cautionary tale that when you go for a walk, make sure that you're putting one foot in front of the other. All right, boys and girls, we're back this week, and I've got a couple of things in store for us today. So sit down, buckle up. You're going to have to listen to me talk for a little bit. Last week, I had an opportunity to present to you our top 10 finalist pieces. And those pieces, I've got some things in store for them, so you're just going to have to wait and find out what we're going to do. But this week, I wanted to take an opportunity to congratulate the other 30 people that made it into the top 40. Remember that this was a school-wide art contest, and when we started this process, we had over 100 pieces of artwork that were submitted to be judged, and our student council did an awesome job. We have a great arts committee that kind of put this all together, and I'm super grateful that they had this idea. But they narrowed down that 100 pieces of artwork that we had submitted to a top 40. And one of the things that you'll remember when we voted was that none of the artists were identified as you were voting. Every piece of artwork was just numbered. And I did that because I really wanted you to vote on the value of the piece that you were looking at, maybe not just because it was made by your friend, even though that's okay to totally do sometimes. So what I wanted to do, starting with our first grade artist and working our way up to our fifth grade artist, I wanted to acknowledge and congratulate our other 30 artists that were in the top 40. Those are the pieces that we all chose and voted on. And at the end, I'm going to share with you my top 5 favorite pieces. So if you don't see yours at the beginning and you know, maybe yours might be presented at the end. So I did have some pieces that I just loved, and I think that they would look great at my bus. I've already got some wall space that I've got like earmarked for a piece of artwork from one of y'all. So with that being said, let's start with our first grade artist. I want to congratulate all of our artists, but our first grade artist, this piece was done by Carson, so congratulations to her. This is a great reindeer that she did. This was another piece of artwork done by one of our first graders, so congratulations to Talia for her awesome flamingo. I really love this little eagle. It's just so cute. This was done by Brody in first grade, so congratulations to Brody for having your artwork selected to be in the top 40. And our last first grade artist that I wanted to recognize for her horse in the haystack was Susu. So congratulations to those first grade artists for their artwork being chosen to be in our top 40 of our art contest. Moving on to our second grade artists. I want to congratulate McKaylee in second grade. Get her cute koala. I want to also send my congratulations to Miss Autumn for her cool dragon. Another one of our second grade artists. This was Miss Laura. So congratulations to you for having your cute little panda chosen. This was another one that I just really loved, and I encouraged this student to put in the art contest because I just loved it so much. This was a penguin done by Wyatt, and I love that he did ice cubes in the background. I thought it was such a unique, it was a unique choice, and nobody else did a penguin with ice cubes. So that was a really neat one that turned out. And one of our other second grade artists, this is a turtle done by Landon. So congratulations to Landon. And last but not least, in our second graders, I want to congratulate Isabella. This is a really fun, colorful lion. I feel like it would be a really cool pillowcase. I mean, who would want to sleep on that? Okay, moving on to our third grade artist. This was another one that I really liked. So Connor, you did a great job. I love how your snake and the rocks turned out. A lot of people commented that they really liked the kind of like marbly rock effect that you had going on. Another one of our third grade artists to congratulate was Audrey in third grade. Her very colorful koala. I love it. That could be the title of this, The Colorful Koala. We had a lot of third graders that were chosen to be in our top 40. So congratulations to Lisa. This was another one of our third grade artists. It's such a cute little dog. You're going to see a lot of koalas because this project was kind of inspired by the wildfires that were happening in Australia. So this was a koala done by, oh, I got to look at the back. This was Miss Olivia's koala. So many koalas kind of run together, but this was really cute. I love how this turned out. So congratulations to you. You're one of our other top 40 artists. Back into the koalas. This was done by Miss Lydia, so congratulations to Lydia in third grade. Your koala was also chosen. I love it. Deacon. I love the snail. Nobody else picked a snail but you, and I love that you did because it was just such a unique piece of artwork, and it's very cute. I think that'll look cute in your bathroom. This was another one that I just love how this turned out. This was done by Maddox in third grade. And if you notice really closely, he actually cut out snowflakes and then traced them in the background to make that really intricate pattern. So another penguin, but with a different kind of take on how to do an icy background. Another third grade artist to congratulate was Miss Brooke in third grade for her really super awesome frog with the flies in the background. For those of you that didn't know this, the kids had to pick an animal, and then the background had to represent that animal in some way. So as you can see in Caden's, he's got a cat and a bunch of balls of yarn because cats like to play with balls of yarn. Congratulations, Caden. And two more. This one was Nia's special little turtle. Great job, Nia. And congratulations on being in the top 40. And our last third grade artist also made a fabulous koala. So this one was done by Miss Charlotte in third grade. So congratulations, Charlotte. Your koala was also adorable. Moving on, we only had one fourth grade artist left that had a piece, and that was Miss Ella. Isn't this dolphin so cute? It makes me happy to look at. I think it's because the dolphin's smiling. Nice job, Ella. Okay, our last set of artists are fifth grade artists, and I want to congratulate these guys, especially because some of them I think might be like reluctant that they think they did a good job. But this one was done by Tony in fifth grade. Tony, I love this. Shark with the bubbles. It makes me happy to look at. I mean, art must run in this family because sister also has a piece of artwork, but this is Miss Grace's. Congratulations. I love the red koala. Very creative. The color contrast here is beautiful as well. I mean, this is going to look good in somebody's house. Okay, two more. The Komodo Dragon, done by Jake in fifth grade. I loved how this turned out. And if you look really close, you can see how he did all the scales on it. So when you get really close to the artwork, there's so much detail that you can't see sometimes when you're standing away from it at a distance. And our last fifth grade artist I want to congratulate is Miss Phoebe. Isn't that a cute sloth? It almost makes you want to hug one until you realize they're like got bugs crawling all over them. Okay, so congratulations to all of our top 40 artists. And I remember I said I was going to save my last 5 for the end because I've got some other things that I wanted to share with you today. So I've been trying to connect with you guys over the last couple of weeks since we've been doing remote learning, and you guys have been sharing some great projects that you've been doing at home, and I'm gonna start sharing some of those too with you guys. Maybe putting some pictures up in a gallery on our website, so you can actually see what everybody else is doing too, because creativity actually builds when you collaborate with other people, and when you share your ideas, you might inspire someone to create something that they wouldn't have thought of otherwise. So This project that I want to share with you is a project I promised I would share with Annalise because it's really fun and it's easy to do. I don't typically like to do product-oriented art projects, especially because when you're at home, everybody has different things at their house. So I might be telling you that you need this or this or this, and you might not have those things, whereas somebody else might. So I'm going to try and do as many projects as I can with things that you can find around your house, or recycled materials, or I might just give you a lot of open-ended projects that you can then interpret and create in your own way, and those are coming. What I want to share with you today, though, is actually a project that has specific steps, but then at the same time, you can also do it your own way. So, this project is a sand art project, except we're not going to use sand, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to start with a little bit of backstory because when we think about the process of art, when have I ever just let you start a project? You always have to listen to me talk to you about something first, and then we brainstorm. But I'm going to be honest with you, there's really no brainstorming part of this. So you kind of just get to dive right in after you listen to me talk to you for a little bit. This project was actually inspired by a trip that I took to Hawaii a couple of years ago. I say a couple, it was like 9 years ago. I went to visit my sister. She was actually working in Hawaii as a nurse at the time, and she just happened to be stationed on the Big Island in Hilo, which, if you've ever been to the Big Island of Hawaii, there's two sides, and one is the like beachy, lava rock, open deserty sort of vibe, and Hilo is like this tropical, very like Hawaii waterfall, sort of like beautiful, lush, and green. I loved it. But one of the really cool things about the Hawaiian Islands is their beaches. Specifically, they have these colored sand beaches, and I was really intrigued by the concept of like colored sand, and I definitely wanted to go check all of these beaches out. And so I wanted to talk to you about three specific beaches, two of which I visited. The red sand beach that I'm going to talk to you about first, I didn't get a chance to go visit it because I wasn't on the Big Island. And even though I was there for a month, I did not leave the Big Island. We stayed there, and I really just spent a lot of time exploring that place. But Kaihululu Beach is a red sand beach in Hawaii, and it gets its color from iron, which is found in the sort of cliffs that surround the beach there. And if you can imagine this really stark, beautiful red color contrasted against the blue ocean, it's a very picturesque place, and it's a big tourist destination for people to go to in Hawaii. So the red sand beach was one of the beaches that I did not visit, but for this project, I wanted to kind of share with you the different colored sands that I found, and these are just a few different colored sand beaches. I've shared this project in the past, and I actually had a student who brought in some pink sand, which I'm going to tell you is a no-no, and I'll talk to you about it why in just a minute. But I'm glad that she had it so that she could share it. She had this bag of like light pink sand, and it was so beautiful. And so it's really neat. So if you actually are interested in different colored sands and beaches, I would encourage you to go look that up on your own. Hello, what are you doing all day? The second beach I want to talk to you about is Papakulea Beach, which is a green sand beach. And this beach was super awesome. It was in a very remote location. I felt like we were kind of driving to the end of the earth. And to be honest, we actually had to go to South Point, which is the southernmost point in the United States, because it's the southernmost point of Hawaii, and Hawaii is the farthest state in the south. So it was really cool. So it kind of was like the complete bottom of the U.S. And we started walking, and we ended up getting a ride with some local people that were also heading out to the same place that we were going. And it was so worth it. You get to this really, really steep cliff, and as you look down, you can see this like emerald sand, this emerald green sand beach, and it's just amazing. I've never seen anything like it in my entire life. It was super awesome, and as tempting as it was to take some of the sand because it's such a cool, novel thing, you have to understand a couple of things about Hawaiian culture. One of those being that the Hawaiians really have strong beliefs about their land, specifically the sand. They believe that when their ancestors die, that they become physically a part of their environment, which means the trees, the sand, the rocks, everything. And so when you take sand from a beach, it's almost as if you're stealing the souls of the people that have inhabited that land before you. So sand is kind of a very sacred thing in the Hawaiian culture. And so they actually make sure, like, they check your bags at the airport to make sure that you're not trying to like smuggle sand out, because it is such a really valuable part of their culture. And if you imagine if everybody took even just like a little bitty bag of sand, sand is a finite resource, and when it runs out, so imagine if people just kept taking and taking and taking, eventually it would disappear. So that's one of the reasons why we're not actually going to use sand for the project that we're going to do, but we're going to use something different. Coming back to the green sand beach and the experience that I had there, it was super awesome. But Hawaii also has a lot of black sand beaches, which, if you think about it, Hawaii has a lot of volcanoes too. And so the black sand actually comes from like bits of lava rock. And this is me at a black sand beach. This is Punalu'u. That's the name of the beach. I had to look that up, by the way, because I could not remember how to pronounce it. But this is a really cool beach, and black sand beaches are all over Hawaii. If you've ever been on a beach, however, you know that a black sand beach presents a problem when you're out in the sun all day. Yep, that's right. It gets really, really hot. So you have to absolutely 100% wear flip-flops when you're on a black sand beach. Otherwise, you're going to burn your little foot. Okay, so for the project that I want you to do, it's going to be a sand art project, except instead of using sand, we're going to use sugar. Most people have sugar in their house. And I would also mention, if your mom's like, you cannot have the sugar, we don't have that much, you can always tell her that this is a project that even after you're finished with it, you can still reuse the sugar. And that actually is another really good characteristic of sand art, and it kind of teaches you the impermanence of sand art. I'm actually going to link a video down below so you can kind of see. I've showed this to my first grade students, but actually the art of making art out of sand is something that's practiced in Eastern cultures, especially with Buddhist monks. And they will spend weeks and weeks, silently working with, small grains of sand to make these intricate and beautiful mandala designs. And when they're done, they just mess it all up and they kind of destroy their work. And that's this sort of idea that art can be impermanent. It doesn't have to be something that, like a painting will exist as long as, it doesn't catch on fire, I guess. But sand art is something that's meant to be made and then kind of let go when it's time. And so I would tell you that when it's time for mom to bake cookies and she needs your sugar, it might be time for you to let go of your project. So this is actually a completed sand art project, and you can see, if you've ever made sand art at home, you take different colors of sand and you just layer it in a glass jar. This is a recycled art project. So as you can see, this once upon a time probably had jelly in it, and now it has a bunch of sugar in it. And I'm going to show you how you can make all of the different colors of sugar. And then as far as layering it, that's your own creative prowess. You get to discover how you want to put that in on your own time. So you're going to need a couple of things. And you're going to need some permission. So before you go right in the cabinet, please say, Mom, can I make this project out of sugar? I've got some sugar here. And you're going to also need food coloring. There's my food coloring. I put it over here. So I've got some food coloring here. And again, if this is something that you don't have in your house, please don't feel like you need to go like, Mom, I gotta go to the store, get food color. Miss England said I have to make this project. This is just one project that I'm throwing out here. Projects that we're gonna do in the future, they're not gonna require you to have specific materials. So, and this is precisely why, because I don't want you to feel like you can't do these cool things because you don't have the ingredients to do them. So, if you have food coloring, great. I mean, it's almost Easter. Most people might have food coloring or some kind of colored dye in their house somewhere. And I would also mention you can get creative. Like if you've got some paint, I've never done it with paint, so I don't know what's going to happen, but art is all about the experiment, so try it out and see what happens. Now, you can do this a couple of ways. If you want to use plastic bags, that's fine. I'm going to use a plastic bag to mix, but I'm only going to use one. And when I'm done, I'm going to take, I have some bowls, just some small bowls, and I'm going to put my colored sand in different bowls because I don't want to waste a bunch of plastic bags. And to be honest, this is the only plastic bag I have. So the only other thing you're going to need is a jar. Now, I have a jar, and I want you to, you also have to have a lid. Jar with lid, like asterisk, must have lid. So I want to show you this jar. It's got a lid, but do you think that this is like the best jar for me to use? Yeah, I didn't think so. Why is that? Because it's covered in writing. It's going to cover up all of my artwork. So even though this jar is, it's a great size, it's got a lid, until I can peel this label off, which I actually can, then this is not really the best choice. So you're definitely going to want to pick a jar that doesn't have anything like writing wise on the outside, so you can actually see all your colors when you're done. This has a lot of etching in the glass, so even still, like not my best choice, but a choice still nonetheless. I'm actually going to do this in a really small jar. So I'm like, even if Mom's like, you cannot take the sugar, be like, what if I did a jar like this big? Come on, Mom, let me do it. So I'm going to do a little tiny jar. The first thing you're going to want to do is figure out how much you're going to need. And you're going to figure that out by filling up your jar with sugar, because that's all the sugar that you need, the sugar that goes into the jar. So I am going to, hopefully not spill this all over my floor. I'm going to take my sugar and I'm going to pour it into my jar until I get about to the top, because that right there, that's my jar. That's my jar is full. That's all the sugar that I'm going to need. I can go put this back in my cabinet and eat it slowly. I'm just going to put it right there for now. So what I want to do first is you can make as many colors as you want. So, this is your decision. You got to do some decision making here. I'm going to just show you how I'm going to make some decisions, and then you're going to make your own decisions. So I'm going to pour about this much. So that was like maybe half an inch worth of sugar. And if you look in my bag, it's about that much right there. So I've got, now with your food coloring, maybe, let me get some specific directions here. So this is like a pink. I had this, and then I have like yellow. And this is actually a really good experiment and, exercise and playing with color, because you're actually going to end up mixing colors to make your own colors. I would remind you that when you mix complementary colors together, it makes brown. So do not be surprised if you mix blue and orange. If you get some really weird shade of a gray, it might be cool and you might like it. So don't let me deter you from that. So I've got green, I've got blue, I've got pink and red and yellow. Okay. Let me be very clear. I mean, you do not need a lot of color. I would say no more than 4 drops, 5 drops tops. So because I was inspired by my trip to Hawaii, I'm going to make some green sand to represent the green sand beach. Such a cool place. So I just dropped 4 little drops, and you can, I don't know if you can see that, I just put 4 little drops of green into my sugar, my sand. Interestingly enough, sugar actually grows in climates, much like climates in Hawaii, and sugarcane is a crop that grows really well there. So at this point, what you're going to do is you are just going to, gosh, it's like a stress ball. This is a good anxiety reliever. By the way, if you haven't already, you should check out. I put some really cool coloring sheets up on the website this week, so you could download those and print them out. And if you really want to get like nerdy, there's an article about how coloring mandalas makes you have less anxiety. So if you're feeling stressed out right now, go color a mandala for 20 minutes. All right, so as you can see, I've mixed up my green sand. Looks really cool. I like it. If you're like, man, it's not green enough, or it's too green. Okay, let's say if it's too green. I'm like, oh, I don't like it. It's too green. I want it lighter. You can just add more sand. Just like adding white to something makes it lighter. So I'm going to lighten my green up just a little bit and add a little bit more sand in there. I keep saying sand, but it's really just sugar. And again, you're just going to mix this up. I would say when you are ready to bake with this, making some sugar cookies probably be really cool. I have no idea what that would turn out like, but just know that your sugar is only going through a physical change. Nothing is chemically being altered. Your sugar is not being chemically altered at all. You did not know you're getting a science lesson embedded within this. So the only thing that's changed about the sugar is the color. It's still sugar. It's still edible. You're not gonna like go into a coma if you eat this. Okay, so there is my green. And because I'm going to reuse this bag, I'm going to empty this. So when I do layer this, because I'm going to show you how I layer it, I'm going to leave some as sugar white. So I'm just going to do a lot more. And then I'm going to kind of mix. So I'm going to do a little bit of this pink. I'm just going to do 2 drops. 1, 2. And if you really want to get scientific, you should record how you make all the different colors. And we can share that information with each other later. And I'm going to just do 2 drops of yellow. We'll see what happens. Okay, and then I'm going to put this in there. Zip it on up, let the air out so I can really kind of knead it together. Ooh. What's going to happen? I'm already thinking I like it. So what I got was this sort of orangish, a little bit of orange. Let's see. You can see that kind of color right there. I don't know if you can see that. I like it. I don't dislike it. I don't hate it. I thought it would be a little bit more pink, so maybe I should put like 1 more drop of pink in it. Okay, just don't disappoint me. There we go. Let me do 1 more little drop of pink. See if it kind of like jazzes it up a little. I bet you didn't think you're going to be sitting here this long. Okay. It's still kind of orange. Let that be known. Now it's really cool because when you look at it, it still kind of looks like shiny and like glittery almost, sort of like the beach. Avoid the temptation to eat your project. So I'm going to show you the 2 colors that I ended up with. This was my sort of orangish color, and then this was my green that I came up with. So let's see that green. Yeah. So what you would do at this point, and again, this is where you get to like just get really crazy and creative. I'm going to take my white sand. I'm going to pour it in this jar right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get a spoon to spoon this out. Otherwise, it could get real messy real fast. You just start pouring from a big bowl into a little bowl. So let me get a spoon. Okay, so I have a spoon. Have my jar. I'm going to start with some green sand. And as you can see, I'm just going to spoon it in. And then, you don't want to kind of shake it so it's flat. You do want to sort of let it, be what it is, because it's going to make an interesting effect all the way around. I'm going to take a little bit of my white sand, layer some of that in. I'm going to take some of my orange, so I'm going to spoon some of that in. This looks very Irish. Looks like an Irish flag right now. It's actually making me think of Ireland. St. Patrick's Day was canceled. I'm going to put the rest of the white in just so that I can get rid of it. And again, as you can see, I'm not like, you can see the top, not me like spilling sugar everywhere. You can kind of see I'm not really, covering completely what I'm doing. I'm letting sort of the colors just layer on top of each other. And you can do this, anyway. And like I said, you could do this with many different colors. Now, as you notice, I'm actually getting close to the top, and I still have, I did press down just a little bit with my spoon, as you can see, as I'm getting close to the top, because I've still got some colored sugar here. So I'm going to see if I can't get the rest of this in my jar so that I can finish this up and tell you what you can do to be finished when you're all done with this. So there's all the rest of that. And let's put the rest of this in here. Love it. And as you can see, I just patted down the top. And now it's time for me to put my lid right here. Put my lid on my jar. Ta-da! Sand art. Now, for those of you that take it like to the next level, you want to be extra, you can actually decorate the top with anything that you want. Actually, I was thinking about Sienna Noel. They shared with me earlier this week these really cool picture frames that they made, and they found all these, like, I think broken pieces of jewelry, and they glued them all over the frame, and I loved it. So you can put on top of this whatever you want. As you can see, this one that I had, the person that had started this was kind of going for like a nature motif. So obviously we had some like fake foliage that we could use. But if you have like access to rocks or sticks or cool old broken earrings, whatever, you're gonna need a hot glue gun though. So this is our sand art project, and this is something that you can make this week. And remember, if mom's like, I need that sugar back, you're gonna have to let it go. So that's some sand art. And one more thing I wanted to share with you. Actually, for those of you that maybe don't have cool materials at home, I want you to know how easy it is to find art materials and everyday stuff. Not too long ago, it was kind of cold, it snowed, and I had to build a fire. And when I, swept the fireplace out in the morning, I had little bits of black wood left over. And you may already know this, but this is charcoal. And you can actually draw with it. So if you have a fireplace in your home and you guys burn wood, obviously if you have a gas fireplace, you're not going to get this kind of stuff. But if you actually have a wood burning fireplace and you end up with some pieces of black wood in the morning, hang on to those, because you can actually do some really cool charcoal drawings with them, both inside on paper or outside on your sidewalk, because when it rains it's going to wash away anyway. So now, I promised you that I was going to share with you my top 5 favorite pieces of artwork. And then I'm going to let you go work on whatever you want to make for the rest of the day, because I'm sure that you have now been occupied for at least 20 minutes, and your parents have gotten a chance to take a break from you asking them a bajillion questions. So I want to share with you that I could not put these in a top 5 order. So do not be like, the last one was number 1. It was my favorite. Maybe, but probably not. These are my 5 favorite pieces, just period. I just love them. I love everything that you guys do, but if you really want to know, these are my top 5 picks from our pieces that were submitted to our art contest. So, congratulations to you. I don't know what it means to you, but you got Miss England's seal of approval. I want to start with another piece of artwork that I think would look beautiful in my bathroom. I'm going to be honest with you. I had this piece and Marley's piece from last week hanging in my bathroom earlier this week just to kind of see how they would look. But I love this crab that Sage made. Sage was a first grader. She's Miss Kavidra's class. And I just love this. I don't know if it's because if you look real close, that purple sparkles. And she must know that I like things that shimmer. So this was beautiful. I love it. I love the colorful bubbles. Just something about this. this. I think it will look, it like matches my wall. So, Sage, congratulations. You're one of Miss England's top 5 picks. Next up, y'all, when you see this, you're gonna be like, oh, I love it. Clara. I love this. I love that you chose to paint your background black. That's not a choice many people make. Bold and daring, just like you. This girl is full of creativity, and I love this bird. It just makes me feel like it's like dancing and it's super happy, and that's kind of how I feel right now. Super happy, like I want to go dance somewhere. I don't know why I love this so much, but I do. This was Tayden's beetle. Tayden's in 5th grade. And this was just something, I just love this. Like, Tayden, I really might ask you if I could, like, pay you money for this to hang in my bus because I love it so much. So, congratulations. I love your, like, what some people might think is creepy, but I don't think it's creepy. Maybe it's because my sister collected beetles when we were a kid. That's why I like this so much, but I just love it. So, this, another one of my favorites. When this girl was painting this, I'm talking about the next one now. When this girl was painting this, I was like, she better put this in the art contest because I think I might want to buy it. And I hope Grandma's watching because this piece was done by Ainsley, one of my favorites. Love this fish. I love that it's in a yellow and like green background, very CSU. I don't think that was what was on your mind, but this just, I love it. I love it. Congratulations. You did a great job. You're one of my favorite pieces of artwork. Congratulations, Ainsley. And last but not least, this should not come as a shock. Alexa, I love this lion. Everything about it. I think it's these cute eyeballs. I don't really like anime, but something about this makes me happy. I just love looking at it. So, guys, I want you to go make some cool stuff. If you are in 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade, please check into our Google Classroom. I am like texting people all day long. So reach out. Let me know how you're doing. Boys and girls, I love you and I can't wait to see you again. Until next time, adios, muchachos. Forgot to tell you something. Before we go, I want to do one more special shout out to a student who made some really amazing artwork that I need you to help me with. So first of all, I want to give a huge shout out to my buddy Lawson in kindergarten. Look at this fun cat. Y'all remember we did Paul Clay. This is Paul Clay's cat, but this is Lawson's interpretation of it. And I think that we need to help him name this cat. So I want you to go to my website, missenglandsclass.com. I want you to find this picture. And underneath it, there's going to be a little survey for you to take where you get to suggest what we're going to name Lawson's cat. Boys and girls, do not disappoint me. Let's name this cat something awesome. All right, from your submissions, I'm going to pick like our top 5 and then we're going to vote because what else you got to do? Let's get interactive and vote on some artwork. That's what we call critiquing and evaluating. It's a really important part of the artistic process. So, boys and girls, big shout out to Lawson. I love this cat. Mrs. Kruger loves this cat. She's going to frame it and put it in her bathroom. Just wait. I love you guys. I'll see you again soon.
That's all, folks.